And here's Paul Vaughan with the side.
Yeah, the fullback is Shannon Nevin, Danny Moore and John Hopewate on the wings, Craig Innes and Terry Hill on the centres, Jeff Tuvey, 5'8" and captain. Craig Field gets a start in the run-on team at halfback. Lock forward is Kallela. Daniel Gartner in the second row is Steve Menzies, Mark Carroll, David Gillespie in the front row, and Jim Sedaris is hooker, coached by the great Bonzo Fulton.
Here's the team.
They've won their last 8, Ray, and at fullback Andrew Walker. Jack Elsgood a surprise on the wing with Matt Singh. Ivan Cleary and Shane Rigon comes into the side for the injured Brandon Pearson. Brad Fittler is the captain and 5'8". Adrian Lamb the halfback. Lock forward Nigel Gaffey. Luke Ricketson and Scott Goulet in the second row. Hermanson, Barnhill and Sean Garlick comes back into the side. That pushes Benetti onto the bench, coached by Phil Gould.
The #1 game of the weekend. Deserving of the #1 referee. He blows the whistle. Walker starts us. Manly with first use. Gillespie knows about pressure football. Pulled down on the 20-metre line. A little mousetrap there from the Manly team. A bit of St George from Manly. Carroll ran into a brick wall. Now for Gartner. He was fairly well contained, I thought, last weekend. Sedaris back, looking for an early kick. Field in the run-on side. The kick bouncing or not bouncing. Walker plucking it out of the air. Slipping in the sodden conditions. We've had a lot of rain in Sydney. Now a penalty. They're inside the 10, the Eagles. City will come for the line on the broadcast or western side of the ground. Yes, a lot of rain, and particularly in the centre areas between the 20s. It's going to be slippery. Good day for the kickers. Hermanson charges at them to the 30. And now Garlick in 14. Gould wasn't going to use him off the bench. Ricketson hard. 18 away from the Manly line. Garlick again. Through Lamb. Now for Goulet. In good form, the former St George player. Garlick again. Lamb again. Now Gaffey working just outside the fringe of the ruck. Fittler comes in. The right foot kick. Not his best kick. Singh goes up. Bats it down. Walker cleans it up. Now the last. He kicked on 4. Now he kicks on 5. Oh! Rigon almost got a clean snatch at it.
Well, neither of them were Brad Fittler's best kicks, as you pointed out, but the last one really saw Rigon come through uncontested to take the football. Momentum would have taken him into the in-goal area, cleaned up eventually by Terry Hill. Now Manly from their own 20 take it forward through Gillespie.
Manly have not been beyond the 30. This is their second set of 6 in the game. Carroll to the 40. Sydney City in round 5 at Brookvale led them 18-0 after 18 minutes. Menzies, he'd love to see some space, love to get into the clear, and then for Field, Goulet's attempted charge down, not with a lot of purpose. Jack Elsgood, formerly from Manly, in doubt until an hour before the game. Walker away from dummy half.
Yeah, surprised to see Elsgood out there. We thought Robert Miles would start the game, but been able to take his place just on Steve Menzies. I've been waiting for him to explode the last couple of weeks. I've got a feeling that these kind of conditions are going to suit him perfectly. Very, very difficult to take at the best of times. When you're slipping and sliding in defence, he'll be even harder to contain.
Goulet very prominent. You saw him go down the blind side, met by Carroll. Heavy combat. Fittler quick hands after Barnhill scooped off the ground. Ricketson shapes to kick. He's looking for his centre man, Cleary. It came off. Cleary went backwards to Singh, went inside to Lamb. 32 metres out on 5. Fittler and Walker are both there, and it's with Walker. And the kick again, not good. Rigon came down with it, but it eventually finished up with Manly as he tried a little bit of the spectacular. Terry Hill.
I've got a feeling they're going to probably put some pressure on Danny Moore and also Shannon Nevin at the back in the slippery conditions, and Walker and Fittler are meant to do that, but not a decent kick between them yet.
Back on Manly's 40-metre line with Kalel. Carroll running straight at Fittler, and Goulet came in to make the tackle. He gets through a lot of work, Goulet, that we don't necessarily talk about, but his defence rate is always very high. Gets about his job with a minimum of fuss. Kalel again. 3 of them involved. Now, Field coming off the left and working across to the right of the ground. And Gardner with the lock forward jumper on today. Field putting a grubbing kick in. Elsgood goes back to be there as a protector for Walker. Walker taken down by Field. And Gardner coming through to secure the tackle. Elsgood passing across the goal mouth. Cleary away from Kalel, pulled down by Carroll. The big man from Manly is working hard, Carroll. Now Singh just beyond his own 20-metre line. First time that Sydney City have really been anywhere near their own try line. Barnhill is 31 metres away from his own line. Singh, or Lamb it was, and then for Gaffey. Gaffey at the back of the pack for Sydney City. As Fittler puts a kick down, Shannon Nevin from 18 metres away from his own line. Takes on Singh, not too many get past him. Hopewadi. 30-metre line. Manly's in. Field, an infield pass for Gardner. The tackle. It looked high to me, but Manson said shoulders. Sidaris trying to push Kalel through a gap. They're just outside the 40-metre line. As Sidaris chooses to go with Menzies and away from Tuvey. Then he goes back for Tuvey. The bounce of the ball on the ground, and Field is in space. He's got the fullback to beat.
Oh.
Penalty goes to Manly. Trouble.
Well, Andrew Walker has taken out support player. Craig Field made a great bust. Had support too. We got a checkered passage. I think you'll find that Walker, well, he just flung the arm out and it made contact. Brilliant footwork there from the little halfback. There was the nudge for Jeff Tuvey, and now he gets collared. But that's what it is. It's a collaring.
Yeah, it's a grab more than anything. Craig Field's had a great start to this game today. He hasn't started in a match for quite a while. It's not a stiff arm. It's more of a grab.
There's not much drama in that.
Chairman, if I check your number, please. Number 1, thank you very much. Okay, we'll be on the game.
Penalty right in front.
Terry Hill will also be spoken to for his reaction to Terry Hermanson coming in and going onto the top of Jeff Tuvey.
Stand, you want to protect the little man? Leave it me. Leave it me. Leave it me.
30 metres out. Right in front. That's where it happened. Shannon Nevin calling for the set.
He has had a tremendous start to the game, hasn't he, Craig Field? See there, Scott Goulet had come up out of the line. Craig Field position. Jeff Tuvey been forced to bide his time on the interchange bench for much of the second half of the season. He's shaping up as a key figure this afternoon as Walker hangs the arm out.
Just watching that head-on shot, I tend to think that Andrew Walker may have actually made contact around the chest with his hand. I understand the forearms come up around the neck.
Yeah, look, I don't think there's much drama to it at all. I think it'll be looked on, been placed in report, and I don't think he's got too much to worry about.
Nevin then. Brought into the side a few weeks back to try and alleviate a problem that was brewing for Manly. In the position that Matthew Ridge was last year. 30 up, 7.5 gone in front. towards the big screen. And the kick is just inside. Manly, first points, 2-0. You people in New Zealand with us through Sky Sports again today. Very good afternoon to you. Once more, as our final series winds down here in Australia. Big weekend. So Walker with a kick that grubbers along the ground before Innes brings it back, runs into the waiting shoulder of Ricketson. And now Kalela. He's probably had the ball in his hands as much as any of the Manly runners. Built like the man that he really has replaced, Owen Cunningham. Sedaris goes in for Carroll to play it. And 35 metres away from their own line, Gillespie works it across to the blind side for Innes to take the tackle and take the play within 5 metres of the halfway line. Carroll again, using up a lot of petrol early, Mark Carroll. Sedaris, halfway line, about to be, I was about to say crossed by Manly, but Field. Oh, that will be a knock-on. That will be a knock-on against Walker. What an opportunity here for Manly.
Yeah, a big kick from Craig Field. And although Andrew Walker was facing his own goal line, he's knocked it forward to the other goal line. And the scrum 10 metres out. I'm just wondering if Manly will come up with one of their special scrum plays. They've got plenty of them.
Minutes gone. One of these sides to the grand final against Newcastle next Sunday. Field. Cross to the eastern side. Hill out of a tackle. Back in field. 22 tries for the year. Looking for 23. Sedaris. Oh, mile offside. Walker. Barnhill and Goulet. Tuvey. Decoys everywhere. Tuvey. Heavy work by Fiddler. Sedaris. Innes. Sydney City are on the ropes. Tuvey. Field. Little dance there. And then away for Gardner. The run around the support. From Fielder. That would have been 23. Terry Hill has put it down.
And somehow Sydney City have survived, and they've done so through professional fouls on their behalf that have been let go by the referee. But at the end of it, after a little doodle on the inside there from Craig Field and a great offload from Daniel Gardner, Terry Hill only had to catch it, draw Jack Elsgood, and his winger scores.
How good's he going, Craig Field? It's probably safe to say he's been a little bit disappointing at the Eagles this year. Hasn't had a great season by his own standards since coming to the Manly side, but today he might be getting it all back. There's a bit of a brouhaha between Barnhill and Hill there. But some good stuff from Craig Field.
They really were given some latitude there, the Roosters, on this side. There were penalties in 3 play the balls in a row.
Yeah.
So Manson tried to play an advantage, and it nearly worked out that way because Manly should have scored.
Gaffey. Now Hermanson. At the end of the day, they scrambled. They used the rule book as well as they could. But as Peter said, Manson could have penalised any one of 3 times. And once was right in front when Walker was almost standing with the Manly players. But you can't have it both ways, I suppose. Fittler with a kick that brings a look of relief to his face. And Nevin goes back. Riggin meets him.
But even that kick, Ray, it didn't find open space. One of the advantages I thought that Roosters might have coming here today is their long kicking game in these kind of conditions. They've kicked something like 4 or 5 times. I don't think either of them or any of those have been particularly good.
Again, Mark Carroll aiming his run at Brad Fittler. Menzies, the crowd. When he gets the ball, they rise with expectation. Gardner now. Big loss to Manly, Nick Crosseff. He just gives them that extra option. And for the defence, of course, somebody else to worry about. Walker. Manly playing like this is a grand final. Always one of the yardsticks that I use to gauge a team's enthusiasm is the chase on the kick. Manly were down there almost before the ball landed. Garlick on for Barnhill. 21 away from his own line. They had the best of the territory early, but they are really bogging down inside their own 30. Fittler again clears it. Nevin off the knees. Chased by Sydney City, good.
Well, if Craig Field has had a great start for Manly, as he has, Luke Ricketson has been superb for the Roosters as John Hopoate takes it 48 out. 15 tackles in about even time, and plenty of those have been important ones doing some covering. There he is involved once again, going to second marker behind Sean Garlick.
Tierney is on for Manly, as you would have no doubt saw. High tackle again. Penalty comes for Manly.
I think Nigel Gaffey was the man responsible on this occasion. And the conditions are going to make it very difficult for tacklers today to set themselves properly. Again, that was just a careless effort from the back rower. Craig Field stepping up. Not going to give Nevin a shot at goal here. They're going to keep the pressure on and fine touch about 10 out. Or maybe 20 out.
A look of confidence on the face of Craig Field. Carroll takes Innes up with him. And Gaffey it is that has to take Carroll high, ball and all. But Manly, they take it inside the 10. Tierney. Quality run by the big man. Now Tuvey from the right, back to the left. Innes gets the ball away. Oh! The pass was ill-directed. Hopoate could have put it over.
That's the second try they've bombed in the space of about 3 minutes, Manly. They took it to the centre of the field with 2 forwards, then Jeff Tuvey comes from one side of the ruck to the other, and if the pass hits him on the chest, he scores. Hopoate took his eyes off the football anyway.
It's not often that you see Matt Singh make the wrong decision, but he really got caught where he didn't want to be, and there's no doubt that Hopoate had a little bit of a look to see where he was, his opposite man.
The Manly forwards are really getting through the advantage line today. Lots of the Roosters forwards like to tackle low, and it's a little bit harder in the slippery conditions. You tend to slide off a little bit, and that's allowing the Manly forwards to keep their legs going and get through the advantage line.
Gaffey. Now Cleary. Put down by Tuvey. Exhibition of his strength. Goulet. Down goes the big man. Sadara's underneath. Gardner over the top. Lamb. Ricketson out. Passing for... what a start from Innes. Innes on Ricketson. Singh running at Tierney and Carroll. Not a good pass time. Fittler switching it. Using Walker as the kick. Nevin back to the 30. And Hopoate. Steve Roach on the sidelines.
Yeah, I've been a little bit disappointed with Sydney City's defence so early in this match. I would say that the 10 metres isn't that good, but it's the Manly short passing game that's really hurting Sydney City at the moment.
Carroll again. Met by Barnhill. Tierney. Field. He's been the danger man. Walk up. And Tuvey it was that led the chase, made the tackle. Together with Gardner. Rigon sees some yards away from dummy half.
Yeah, this is where they've got to get some of their quick players out of dummy half, as they're doing now with Elsgood. Their forwards are finding it very, very difficult to get out of the danger end. It's just young Fletcher taking the football forward now. He's on for Hermanson. Again, they haven't made the halfway line, and there's still only 1 or 2 tackles left in this set of 6.
Fittler again off the 40-metre line. Shannon Nevin on the run. Ricketson down the ground quickly to make the tackle. 25 away from their own line, Manly. Leading 2-0, a penalty for Shannon Nevin at the 8th minute. Now Sidaris using Tierney. And he gets it just beyond the 40-metre line. In fact, 45 metres out from his own line. But the main body of this game has been played in Manly's half. Been played in Sydney City's half, I meant to say. Now Sidaris. And of course, that pressure on Sydney City, it has got to take its toll. They make the ball do the work. Rigon up on Hill, right up at his face. That's what he's got to do to contain one of the big centres in Australian League. Fittler, Field, I should say, away and passing across to the right. Moore, Sidaris, how did he finish up out there? And David Manton has called it back for forward.
Yeah, a couple of forward passes there, and Sidaris has been clocked over there. He's down, but he's getting up. Pretty tough. The Roosters seem obsessed today with trying to kick from within their own 40 into the opposing 20, which would give them the ball back. They've tried about 5 times and haven't come up with a decent kick yet. That's the difference between the Roosters we've seen the last 8 weeks and today. Their kicking game is just very ordinary today.
Gaffey. Right on the halfway line. There's Wood. Barrel down over the top. Now it's Goulet. Knock on by Sydney City. Advantage for Manly. Menzies. Gardner coming down the blind side. Just the 2 points on the board. They belong to Manly. As we go through the first 20 minutes of the game. Tuvey, scamper away from dummy half. Good tactics on a wet day. Tierney got a pass away. Menzies on for Field. Field a long ball. Moore is with it. Elsgood putting him down.
Well, they're getting themselves into some great attacking positions, Manly, but the last pass going astray, that was a brilliant pass and take from Steve Menzies, followed up by Craig Field as they go the short side. Good defence by Elsgood to snuff out Terry Hill.
They've really been sweating on Terry Hill over on the left of the ground. Sidaris with a neat kick and another kick. Walker, Walker's got the work to do and he does it.
Well, the Sydney City Roosters are just hanging on here. They raced up very quickly out of the line, and Andrew Walker, who's been in tremendous form, he really has had a poor start to this game. Luckily, he had the speed to get back and retrieve the situation. But just watch the Roosters players rush up. They almost tell Jim Sidaris to run through there and put the kick in. That went straight to Andrew Walker, and Gardner was nearly there to capitalise.
There's a great battle going out in the far side of the field. Terry Hill, isn't he copping some? Every time he gets the ball, it's either Elsgood or Rigon right in his face. And they're hammering Terry Hill today, Tezza.
So Field sending Tierney back from the line dropout. Manly then on the first tackle. and reaching the 20-metre line on the second. Fletcher on Sedaris. Didn't put him away. Tierney away. Field on. Tuvey with it. Jinking run. Menzies now. Third tackle. 20-metre line. 20 metres in from touch. Tuvey across. Gillespie straightens it up to the 10-metre line again. Manly. They've been threatening. Are they about to do it? Gardner. 3 metres out from the line. This is their last tackle. Sedaris, a diving pass. Tuvey sweeps it across. Field takes the decoy, and then it's Innes, and again Sydney City has risen and met them. Well, commercial break coming up at 2-0. Manly over the Roosters. Not necessarily for all stations. Hermanson now. 25 metres out from the Sydney City line. Will Paul Fortin, your team has thrown everything at them. Keeping in mind you played for both, but it is Manly I'm talking about, but they have scrambled. They have used their play lunch to save them.
Well, they have, and I suppose they must be getting worried, or the great Bonzo sitting in a stand might be a little worried. They haven't put points on the board apart from one penalty kick. They have bombed a couple of tries and got very close on a couple of other occasions, but Phil Gould, he'd be very happy at this stage. I don't think his team is playing that well, but they've held out and can only get better. And I think the likes of Adrian Lamb, who hasn't run the football yet, and Brad Fittler must start getting highly involved. The more they run with the football, the better for their team, but their go forward hasn't been that crash hot.
What about the territory breakdown, Peter? It would be reading out at some massive percentage in favour of Manly.
Well, for the last 10 minutes, it's been at the other end of the field. This is the first time the Sydney City Roosters have been in the Manly half with a set of 6 up their sleeve. We've got 100 tackles for the Roosters up against 63 for their opposition, so that shows just what kind of pressure the Tricolours have been under. An enormous relief for them to be at this end of the field as Fittler tries to weave some magic. Rigon runs a good angle.
Talking of enormous relief, it's also an enormous relief to look at the scoreboard and only be 2 points behind. Fletcher out in the centre of the ground. About 15 minutes of the first half to go. Ricketson down in the members' court. Garlick, Lamb, Barnhill, Lamb, got it back. Walker, now Rigon, and a look at Moore and Hill driving in.
Ah, good defence, good semi-final defence. That stuff there from Manly out wide. Only the second time the Roosters have been in Manly's 20, and they've come up. Not a mistake, but just some good hard driving defence.
Yeah, Terry Hill got a few pats on the back here, but the bulk of it was done by Danny Moore. He read it beautifully. Rigon got on the outside. Matt Moore came in, came up with the initial contact, had the momentum going towards the sideline, and then Hill came in to help. It's Craig Field. He must have hit the line at some stage. He's got the albino on one side.
He's as white as me.
That could never be the case.
Impossible.
He looks like a skunk, doesn't he?
Gardner. Just then when Adrian Lamb handled the ball again, Paul, I was thinking to myself, gee, is he in the game? I mean, they've got some brilliant playmakers, but they haven't been able to address their own craft.
Well, it's because they haven't had the football, Ray, and the more footy they get, the more he'll come into it. There he is, Pepe Le Pew, is kicking the ball.
Pepe Lahu. Walk up. Busy day for Walker at the back.
And the big reason we haven't seen much of Lamb and a Fittler with the football in their hands trying to do some stuff is that this is where the game's been played.
Oh, absolutely. I understand that, but I'm just saying back there we had a brief moment of a reminder of what sort of players they've got and the things that we remember they can do. But this has been a case of all hands on deck on the other side of the ship. Barnhill putting it on the ground behind him for Gaffey. You might say almost a senseless pass. Fit around the back. Walker, the outstretched hand. Then the kick. That's going to go. Oh! Inside by about a foot. Hopewadi.
We've got a Manly player down hurt. I think it's Craig Field in his attempt to try and charge down that last kick. It's come up a little bit dusty. Craig Innes takes it over the halfway line. Field coming to the sideline, and now Cliff Lyons comes into the game. Mark Carroll beats a tackle.
Roar from the crowd. They were looking for a forward pass from dummy half. Kalela. Barnhill's underneath. It's a gripping final. Nothing on the scoreboard. Kalela. 45 degrees back to central. Lions across, and then a diving take by Cleary. Back to the 20. Anticipation by Cleary. Hummondson. Met by Carroll. Fittler. Ricketson. Halfway. 2-0. Manly. Eighth minute they got the penalty. Goulet. What's his tackle depth? Not as high as I would have thought. In fact, look at Ricketson. He's up at 23 now, Ricketson. Bradford. Plenty of time to kick. Oh, a mistake! They're over the line! Oh, Danny Moore! How embarrassing! The ball popped up out of the ground like molten lava, and Sydney City have got themselves a try.
Well, can you believe it? It's a funny old, cruel old game, rugby league. Again, not the kind of kick that they were necessarily after. It was a pretty easy catch for Danny Moore. Oh, it's just popped up. He just said, here, Jack, take this one through. All the pressure in this game so far has been Manly's way. And completely against the run of play for mine, the Roosters run in the first ball pointer.
Well, they'll be ecstatic at this lead, the Roosters. Well chased there from Elsgood. The ball just didn't carry to Danny Moore. He had to really stretch and go down to try and get it.
The irony, of course, is that Danny Moore is probably in that jumper on the wing because it was left to him by the bloke that got the try. Jack Elsgood in doubt till 1 hour. And he gets a try that he will never forget.
Danny Moore won't forget it either, although he'll try his darndest to do exactly that. And Ivan Cleary shouldn't have too many problems with this. So as we come inside the final 10 minutes of this first half, they should lead by 4, the Roosters.
And they do. 6 points to 2. Sydney City over Manly. Lions coming off, and field goes on. 31st minute. Just did a bit of damage there around the neck area, Craig, and I had a quick look at him. Couldn't afford to leave him off for too long. He's been playing superbly today. Oh, he's knocked it on. Great tackle.
Led by
Sedaris in the main.
Yeah, Jimmy Sedaris was the man. It's amazing how many times you see a mistake in the next set of 6 after a try is scored. Ball came out. Carroll came in to help as well. Now we've got Hopewadi leaving the blind side wing. They've stacked the right-hand side of the field. Plenty of troops out there. Bad pass from field. Hopewadi picks up. .22 metres out. Centre of the ground.
half-time, about 8 minutes away. It's Sydney City leading by 4. And this thought would bring a penalty.
Glad the referee didn't call a penalty. It was Sidaris trying to milk one.
Okay. Tuvey. Inside for good now. Oh, Andrew Walker. Now he's got to put a scrum down.
And the Manly blokes, they're blowing up. Probably better off saying nothing. What a great tackle from Andrew Walker. Not only did he stop him, he then forced him back 5 metres. Here it is here, grabs him. It's a one-on-one tackle at this stage. So the fact he's forced the ball loose, I suppose it's okay.
Well, the other player there that was obscured, in fact, was Terry Hill. So there was no sign of a second player in the tackle. I still fancy it. I know Peter's of the belief that Sidaris is trying to milk a penalty, but it is up to the team in defence to clear the ruck area.
Well, I think he was out of the ruck area, and Sidaris, he actually dived across to get over near where he was, Ray, as Barnhill. A little bit of a knock just to slow things down. But you're right, it's one of those line ball ones.
Ricketson. Now Walker with that big boot of his, but oh, gee, he had plenty of time and he's put it straight down Shannon Nevin's throat. Fiddler and Walker will look at the first half of this match and think to themselves, gee, we didn't make them do much work.
Well, it's been said that Andrew Walker is a confidence player. I remember reading an article during this week where apparently he had a pretty poor first 40 minutes in a game recently, and the coach, Bill Gould, said to him at halftime, look, you've got nothing to prove, just go out and enjoy it. I think it'll be the same message.
Now Tuvey putting his foot down. There was a big tackle there from Nathan Wood on Carroll. Here's a penalty to Manly. Well, it's been coming.
Yeah, David Barnhill, the man, he never cleared the... he didn't mark up properly. He was standing to the side. He was offside. He did 100 things wrong. And he raised the knee, tripped. Must have gone close to going to the bin. What do they do, Pete? Shot at goal?
I'd have to take a shot at goal, Paul. 5 out from half-time. It's right in front. Shannon Nevin will put it dead if he misses. It does appear as though, even though they're exerting plenty of pressure, points are going to be at a premium in such a dour struggle and in these conditions.
A windless day. It has remained that way, Stephen, on the sideline, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has, mate. It's in favour of Manly at the time, but slippery conditions. A big cloud coming over now. I think it's going to pour in about a couple of minutes, so let's see what happens. It's starting to fall down now. Yeah. Daniel Gartner having a fair bit of trouble with his eyes there. He must have had a bit of mud in there. The trainer on there cleaning it out now.
We're looking down on top of you, Stephen, from the helicopter, just below that big black cloud. Magnificent stadium in many respects. I mean, it's had a lot of critics, particularly about its inability to keep people dry. Even with the weather, it has done something for the housing of the grandstands. They are quite well accommodated on the eastern and western sides today, as people try to keep away from the elements. Nevin from in front. He got one from there at the 8th minute, and he's got another at around about 36th minute. 6-4. Incidentally, a shot there of Phil Gould, and in head-to-head, Fulton's teams have beaten Phil Gould's sides 7-1. So the national coach has got the better of it over the former state coach. Walker. Oh, it's okay. It was off the feet anyway. Good recovery work there, though, by Craig Innes. John Hopperwood. By Jove, it's been a wrestle. 135 tackles to 97. That's the count. Obviously, with the Roosters required to make the most of them. And yet you look at the scoreboard and you could expect a 12-0, 14-0 lead, but it's not that at all. It's 6-4, Sydney City in front.
And Paul, only 2.5 minutes out from half-time as Craig Field gets a kick in. Andrew Walker will allow that one to go to Matt Singh. We've seen Cliff Lyons out there for all of 2 minutes. Not his kind of game, or well, what's the thinking?
It is surprising, but it's a dour game. It's a very hard-fought game. It's been mainly forward battles out there, and maybe Bob is just going to save him for the second half. He knows that the Roosters, with all this defence, will tire, and I've got no doubt Cliff will play a big part in the game come the second half.
Trouble for Tierney. Lamb across. Borderline pass.
And I suppose the other thing just on Cliff Lyons, Peter, is that both Craig Field and Jeff Tuvey are playing well.
Lamb, on one of the rare occasions he's had an opportunity, deciding to run. Fiddler's looking for Walker. Craig Field got himself back there.
Yeah, that's a great piece of cover defence there from Craig Field. He read that very well. A little set move, some communication there between Fittler and Walker. As Kallela, he's had a big first half too, Kallela, a workhorse. And Walker's come from behind, but Craig Field, he has spotted it and got there just in time.
Shot from the helicopter. I think he's in the middle of that black cloud now. Gillespie. Getting at 5 metres into Roosters territory. They lead by 2 as we go into the last minute of the first. Second final of the weekend. Newcastle's there waiting. Who's it going to be? Another ill-directed pass by Manly. And Sidaris puts in a kick. Walker taken down by the kicker and by Tuvey. Garlick is back on. Matt Singh. Phil Gould preferring to go with Nathan Wood as his deputy dummy half rather than Bonetti. Goulet. Matter of seconds to the halftime siren. Fletcher. Garlick. Last play. Fittler. Moore. Danny with a big run. And that's the end of the first half. Just the one try. Jack Elsgood got it. It was an incredible passage of play.
Where's free? Stay with him, stay with him.
6-4 as we go into the second half. In front of a respectable crowd at the Sydney Football Stadium. Sydney City against the odds are in front. And Hermanson, Kiwi international. Fittler. We haven't seen him or Adrian Lamb. Maybe Lamb once. Given an opportunity to show us what they can do. Oh, that was a chance. It's still a chance. Wigan pulled down 8 metres away. This is the last. Hermanson. Now Lamb. Freddie Fittler. Did he get it down? Did he get it down? No.
Well, I know it was a close thing, but I think they bombed it. I still think if Adrian Lamb had kept going to the right-hand side, they had to score. It was a close thing. A couple of little fortunate bounces here off the arms of Barnhill into that of Rigon. Danny Moore's conceded a try, but he saved one here as well. And then Brad Fittler, well,
I'll tell you what.
the in-goal judges ruled that one. The referee asked, did he get it down, and the ruling was no.
Well, he looked to me as though he got it down. The point is, did he get it down short of the line?
Yeah, it's short. Close thing for the Eagles.
Carroll now. 10 metres into Sydney City's half as Kalela makes a half break. Down it goes. Pats on the back for Garlick.
I'm just trying to work out where Cliff Lyons is playing in this Manly side, because they're all out there. Tuvey, Field and Jim Sedaris, and it looks like Clippy might actually be packing in as the hooker in the scrum, with Sedaris in the front row as well, and Carroll.
So Sydney City bringing it away on the first tackle to the 30-metre line. Let's go to the half-time report from Blocker.
Yeah, well, for Manly, it's all about field position. Get them deep in their own half. They're having trouble coming out of their own end. He said, let's think about our kicking game a little bit more. Try and kick away from Walker. We've found him a couple of times. And for Manly, just keep turning up. We're poking our heads through, and the breaks will come. We haven't had any luck in that first half. For Sydney City, Phil Gould said, stay alive in defence until the ball is dead. Don't sprint one up out of the line. That's where we're causing ourselves plenty of problems. Put them on the ground, too many offloads, and they have thrown everything at us. Be more confident when we have the football. This is our day.
Fittler sending it straight down the ground and again straight into the arms of Shannon Nevin. He must be thanking his lucky stars, Shannon, today. Everything they've kicked at him has come straight into the arms. Terry Hill is on the 30-metre line, his own end of the ground. Riggin is doing a job for his coach and his club, more importantly for himself. Gardner, 7 metres on his own side of the halfway. Manly, they haven't been kept tryless since the 1995 grand final. That's incredible. But of course, it's only, I suppose, a further emphasis of just how great this club has been for a long period of time. As Field puts his kick across the ground. Singh losing his footing, but he's in the field of play. Walker, good run, excellent run. That's not a run, it's a marathon. Oh, Walker got it away. Oh, they bonded now.
That's Dale Shearer who's dropped the football. And I know that it might sound very strange after what was a superb run from Andrew Walker, but just his little feint at dummy half to put both the markers off was absolutely superb.
This was him. And still had the presence to take a look. Lions, they run angles. Gardner on the 30-metre line. Down by 2. Manly trying to recapture the lead. Kalela. Innes is going to score. Innes is over. Second try. What a piece.
Well, this has been quite a remarkable start to the second half. We've seen more breaks and half breaks in the last 5 minutes than we saw in the first 40. Kalela got the first try last week against Newcastle, and he's put this one on a plate for Craig Innes. He busted through 3 tackles, offloaded. Craig Innes too strong to stop from there.
And that all came after the Roosters' mistake. Walker threw the ball. It wasn't controlled by Dale Shearer, who just come onto the field. And Kalela's had a great game out there today. Some missed tackles out wide. You can't afford them. 2 of them miss him. Cleary and Ricketson as well. And he's a good finisher, Craig Innes, very strong player.
Magnificent effort by Anthony Kalela. Innes gets the try, but he knows that it was Kalela's performance. His contribution made it possible. 22 years of age, Kalela.
What about this 5 minutes? Fittler in under the posts. No. Pulled up short. Andrew Walker's raced 60 or 70 metres. Now all of a sudden Craig Innes, after some great work from Kalela, gives the defending premiers the lead.
There's nothing better than a tight, sudden death struggle. And whoever wins is going to have to back up and do it again next Sunday. Nevin, 6 metres in. It's 21. The backdrop of the Eastern Stand. 2 points in front, Manly. How many times does he look at? Now, on its way and grazing the side of the uprights. 8 points to 6. Manly recaptures the lead. City send it down for Manly to bring it back. Tuvey coming away for Gartner to cross the 20. Tuvey again, this time for Carroll. The veteran Dale Shearer there in 24. Had a chance to put it over the line.
Steve Roach, I'm assuming with Dale Shearer out there is a problem with Shane Rigon.
Yeah, it's a strained calf or torn. They're just going to give him another 5 minutes. He's got ice on it now to see if he can take any more part in the game.
On the halfway line now. Field puts it precisely down in the corner. Walker's going to have to try and get it back. Will he make it? Yes!
That's good stuff from Walker. That's what semi-finals are all about, putting your body on that line. That's almost like scoring a try, getting back into the in-goal. There's been a clash. Walker's head has hit something hard.
I think it's Craig Field that's down with him, is it?
No, it's Terry Hill. He's gone straight into his side. Led with the head. Terry's copped it right around the rib area. Both of them in no hurry to get to their feet. Understandably so.
Melted into one another. And not a laughing matter. Terry's clutching, as you can see, at the lower ribs, kidney area. And Andrew Walker. Let's hope that he's able to rise. Just looking at the lower grades today. Second grade to Balmain and under 20s also to Balmain. So the Tigers will be represented in both of those. And let's look at what we have on the bill for next Sunday. Balmain will play Parramatta in second grade. And they will play Sydney City in under 20s. And we'll be on air live 12 noon right through. You'll see it all. But the Tigers will be there for a big portion of the day. That'll please you, Block. Andrew coming off.
Certainly will. That'll add another 20,000 to the crowd next week, Rabs.
We'll get a report on him from you as soon as we can, Steve. As Nathan Wood is put back into the game. had a session as hooker. And he's about to show his versatility. What's the story, Stephen?
Yeah, concussion for Walker, and also Terry Hill having problems with his hip at the moment, so they've obviously clashed.
Goulet. Now Bonetti gets a taste of the final. And penalty. There might be more to come.
Yeah, I think it's Jim Sedaris who actually lifted. Neil Tierney was in the tackle as well.
It did appear as though Sedaris was the main culprit. We'll obviously have a look at that again. Now Sedaris being called out along with the captain and Tierney.
Whether it be momentum or not, the player has flipped over. We'll be asking the league to look at that tackle. I want to look at your number, please. I've got number 9, thank you very much. And I've got number 8, thank you very much. So no hand in the crutch, thank you.
So on replay, and it would seem that Neil Tierney has got no problems. Jim Sedaris, I don't think he had the hand in the crotch area, as they call it.
No, that's the one saving grace in the tackle, was the fact that the arms were around the man that he was tackling, so the actual technique was fine. It was just the result that was the problem.
He didn't drive down either. He more or less let go when he saw the position that Bonetti was in. But Bonetti's up and about.
So Goulet to the halfway line. Fiddler, I was about to say, 30 minutes of football. And he is going to have the football in his hands. Lamb across for Fletcher. And pulled down on the 30-metre line is Fletcher. Manly by 2. Fiddler again. And good pressure on his kicking game. Lyons is with it as Shearer puts him down. Former teammates. Canella's confidence is high. Tuvey for Tierney. Bonetti head on. Not an easy job. Tuvey again away from the 40. Running from dummy half. The little man. 21-metre run. Menzies on for Sedaris to reach the 30. Field. Then Innes. Oh, what a run. Inspired by Tuvey. The last. Field. A little kick into the end goal. Fiddler. And line dropout time.
Oh, what a run by Craig Innes. He's really given Ivan Cleary a hard time out there today. Little Tuvey, seen him do this plenty of times. He's a very astute dummy half, picks the right time to run, comes back on that angle, and then Innes carried Cleary, dropped him off. And Matt Singh was in there again, involved in a try-saving tackle.
Tierney. Playing against a couple of these old teammates. Goulet, Barnhill, Walker. Just inside the 30-metre line. Tuvey again. Running from dummy half. And it's a penalty to Manly. Well within kicking distance.
I'll be very interested to have a look at this one again. Fletcher is the man that was penalised. Jeff Tuvey really starting to find some space now, and the writing is starting to be written on the wall for mine for the Roosters. If he gets up to play it, Fletcher's the man at the back, and I just think that it's accidental. This will be the best view of it. He didn't. The referee said that he scooped his feet up from under him. That certainly didn't happen.
Walker about to come back on. Tell you what, and Peters may be right. They might have also been lucky that Barnhill didn't bring a penalty himself, the manner in which he tackled Tuvey. Well, you can see for yourself it's not a difficult kick for Shannon Nevin, who's been asked to play a brand of football probably well beyond his years. The national coach looking to defend his title next Sunday. Shannon can help here. Meters out, and he's hit it beautifully. Manly, they enlarge now, 10 points to 6. .26 to go. Gillespie, veteran of grand final experience. Gardner, 20-meter line. Tuvey, by the mere fact that he's run from dummy half a couple of times, has laid the foundation for Manly in this second half. Field, Tuvey to the blind for Carroll, met by Fittler. That's the halfway line. And for Nevin, his kick straight to Walker. Good to see him back. Obviously okay. They wouldn't ask a player that's heavily concussed to go back into the game. Elsgood under the shoulder of Menzies on the 30-meter line. Penalty goes to Sydney City. It's against Stephen Menzies, who will plead his innocence.
Yeah, good tackle from Stephen Menzies. Good driving tackle. I think he was hurt in the tackle, and that's the reason he couldn't get away or clear the ruck. He copped one from Elsgood, an elbow, but he didn't make much of an effort.
Look of pain etched across the face of Stephen Menzies. Penalties, 4-4. And here comes Sydney City now with their opportunity. Manson standing on top of the play the ball, and I thought there might have been a penalty there. 30-meter line. Fittler has got to get involved. Gaffey, Bonetti, Lamb, Fittler now. Oh, good tackle, Kallela. Bonetti again. Oh, Fittler's in a punch-up with Carroll. Bonetti is 3 meters from the line. Now Adrian Lamb. The ball spews out, but it's gone forward.
And while all that's going on, we've got Brad Fittler and Mark Carroll still tangling. The touch judges come over to make a report. This will be a very interesting report. The inside run, a strong tackle by Kallela. Fittler gets up to play it.
Yeah, well, Spud's thrown one. He's given him a little uppercut. There was a slight push from Fittler, nothing really, and then Carroll unleashed, and Freddie unleashed back.
They actually have had a little running war going for a fair bit of this game, just little things. It's finally come to a head, and normally we see, as the last play breaks down for the Roosters, the man who throws the first punch being penalised.
Smart play by Freddie in the fight. He pulled Big Spud's jumper over his face, so Spud couldn't see where he was throwing them.
Well, fair dinkum. What about this?
The penalty has gone to Manly.
Why?
Ask the bloke on the other side with the flag in the air now. Carroll comes back again. almost begging them to have another go. Kalila, they come out of the deep to get him. Hermanson in the main.
One thing not helping this game is the fact that David Manton has played a very, very ordinary 10 metres as Tuvey slips through again. A very ordinary 10 metres. Have a look at them now. They were 5 metres back at the best.
Lions taken by Fletcher. Sedaris. He beat Hermanson and takes Bonetti on. Menzies tackled by Lamb. The 5th. Field. His kick has at least one player offside. A mistake. Into touch in goal.
It was a great kick from Craig Field. They found Matty Singh out there all on his lonesome. A big chase. And he couldn't control it.
Just let me point out that it was neither of these chases that I was referring to. The player that was offside was Jim Sedaris. He was in front of the kicker, much closer to the kicker. Hapawati and Innes, they were both coming from an onside position. Somehow or other, Matt Singh can find a way to avoid trouble. Walker restarts. Drop kick. Right down to the halfway line, and here's Carroll winding up. Oh! They hit him with their wisdom teeth. Goulet in particular. Shades of marathon when Harrigan and Carroll came together. Killela. Innes. Quality effort by him today. Field. Carroll again. It might have been better had they left him alone. He's risen from the deep. Loans. Oh! There could be trouble here. No. Referees let it go. Touch judges have said nothing. I just thought there might have been interference on Daniel Gardner.
And out wide, Terry Hill. He was down. He's just got up now. Just wondering if he was taken out. Cliff Lyons puts it through. Keep an eye on Terry Hill. He's taken out by Dale Shearer. And also a trip on Gardner. So it's all happening.
Lamb pulled down by the collar. It was Kallela or Carroll. They were both there. And now Walker. Towering kick. Bouncing down to the goal mouth. Nevin comes back. He falls at the feet of Ricketson. Only the wingers back there. Hapawati. A game that hasn't come to him today. Gardner, 25 away from his own line. Barnhill reels away from the tackle, hurt. Field. Lyons cuts out Menzies. Hill gets on the outside. Nearly puts Big Danny Moore down the right. Moore goes back in. He finds Menzies. Menzies is on his way. Menzies is over. 14-6. Menzies is back in the winner's circle.
Well, that's a great dry weather try, let alone in a qualifying final in the mud with only 20 minutes left on the clock. They've come up with a beauty here, and the Roosters got caught out wide in defence. The quality of the Cliff Lyons pass, as we freeze it there, you can see that this man has allowed his player to get on the outside, and that creates the overlap, and play continues. Terry Hill drew Jack Elsgood. Danny Moore flies away. He heads back in field, which was very, very good play to commit Andrew Walker and to set up Steve Menzies. Matt Singh did a valiant job coming from the far side of the field. But Menzies, he scored something like 71 tries now in only 100 games. It's a fair strike rate, isn't it? And Adrian Lamb was the man caught out by Terry Hill's speed.
Yeah, great ball there from Cliff Lyons. He put it right on the outside of Terry Hill, allowed him to keep going on that angle. Just wondering why Jack Elsker was back so far. He hadn't come back up into the line. And Matt Singh, well, he couldn't have possibly saved that one.
Very, very good work from Danny Moore as well, wasn't it? He summed it up perfectly when he got into the clear, realised where Walker was and also where his support was. So he headed back in field to make sure that Walker could not just drift and contend with two players.
Well, the thing that I'm thinking about most was a feeling of warmth, I suppose, for Danny Moore, who had suffered the embarrassment, the indignity of allowing the simplest of tries to his opponents today. And he's played a leading role in probably putting the last nail in the coffin of Sydney City. The scales of justice have swung back for Danny Moore. And Shannon Nevin gets the extra two. Now the gap widened to 10 points. This was how it happened, with that beautiful pass from Lyons, putting Hill on the outside. And then this man, who must have had a worrying half-time break, inside for the 71st try for Stephen Menzies. And now Manly lead by 10. It's not over though. 16 to go. But they need a couple of converted tries, and I don't know that that's in the petrol tank with Sydney City. They've used plenty. 35 metres out from their own line, man. A second half that has been probably highlighted by simple play, dummy half running, particularly from this man. And again Tuvey with a 20-metre run on tackle 5 for the kick from field. Putting it down deep over the head of Singh and over the sideline with Craig Innes bearing them.
Well, Craig Innes was a little bit offside there, but it made no difference. And you've got to say that Bob Fulton has come up with a magnificent piece of coaching here in the second half as Craig Field gets the good kick away. To be able to have Cliff Lyons, Craig Field and Jeff Tuvey all out there playing their roles, not a situation of too many cooks spoiling the broth. He's just worked it out very nicely. All of a sudden Tuvey in this second half has found a lot of metres out of dummy half. Lyons has set up the try, and Craig Field continues to menace, especially with his kicking game. Just have a look at this tackle count. Grabs us. Roosters win the ball. 235 they've been forced to make against 165. That's 70 tackles. That's another 11 and a bit sets of 6.
Yeah, exactly. And it would be almost impossible to think that a team with that deficit could win any game. The mere fact that they've been in the game for as long as they have, and they still are, is even more incredible. Singh then. Put down by Innes. As the Roosters cross the halfway line again. This is Gaffey playing it back for Nathan Wood. Away on the left for Walker. Jack Elsker is after it. Ball bouncing. Elsker! Elsker! Oh, he is a miracle worker! He is a miracle worker! How can he possibly do it?
Well, he's done it, and the Roosters are back. It's come another try from a kick. And can you believe it? He's onside. That's one thing in their favour. Now no one goes for the kick. Danny Moore hangs off it. Could he have got there? Probably not, no. It was just the perfect kick. He got the great bounce and then the strength to get over the line from Jack Elsker.
Yeah, well, having said that, Paul, I still think he's a bit gun-shy, Danny Moore, after what happened in the first half. Jack Elsker took it out of the hands of Danny Moore, goes across. Ivan Cleary, he's got a chance to put him back within 4. I didn't think there were any hope at all of breaking down this 10-point deficit.
The eagle that left the nest has come back to haunt them. Jack Elsgood has scored 2 tries here today that you probably wouldn't think you'd score them in a career. He has put them together in a sudden death final. I am absolutely stunned at the luck and the freakishness of what has been laid on the platter of Jack Elsgood today.
Yeah, you've got to give Elsgood a big rap for being there. Now, we talk about luck and how you've got to put yourself in a position to take advantage of any that's going around. He's had to cover a lot of metres to get through on both occasions to score the try.
Yeah, just the effort to keep chasing, not knowing what's going to happen, just to be there. That's why he scored the try.
So another former Manly player tries to convert, but he's wide. 6 points the margin, 12 to go. And Steve Roach.
Yeah, just watch Terry Hill here. One of the biggest problems is he came to the sideline about 3 minutes ago saying that his hip was no good. Look at him chase there. He can't even run. He's been struggling out wide. Couldn't get back to help Nevin there at the back. And there's the try to Elsgood.
Former Rookie of the Year.
So who lines up for the field goal for Manly? Is it Nevin? Is it Field? Is it Tuvey?
Nevin puts us back in motion. Well, we didn't see yesterday's game. Paul did. And he said to us last night it was just a superb game. A real thriller. And this one is not letting us down. Barnhill, Wood, Hermanson. Just wondering what's running through the mind of this man, Fittler. Now he tries to put Gaffey through a hole. To the halfway. Fittler will stay involved. There he is again. Pushing it wide. Land for Goulet. And Goulet swatted by Kallela and Tuvey. 2 of the stars.
Great work there from Kallela. Not just the big tackle on Goulet. He chased out a marker. Harassed Walker, and he's come up with a cold drop.
Gardner.
I think Shannon Nevin will be the man. Get down, work within field goal distance. Neil Tierney, a strong charge on the short side, offloads to Tuvey. He'll find field as well.
Tuvey to the 20 before Sidaris, and then Kallela. Tremendous effort by this young 22-year-old Kallela, but none better than their captain. Now, here it comes. In flight. Oh, it's back in the field of play. And look at that. Look at that for lots of fortune. And guess who it is?
Well,
it's
no, he's
Anthony
offside.
Kallela.
Yeah, I think he's offside by a long shot.
He's got to be offside. I mean, there was no one behind Shannon Nevin.
I think it's Gartner.
It's Daniel Gartner who's got the rebound.
There's the penalty.
Yeah, the only way that could have been play on, it had to have been touched by a Rooster. It's Shannon Nevin. There's virtually no one behind him, and Gartner standing there right in front of the posts.
So, thankfully, the touch judge on the western side spotted the offside player.
I think it's been a mistake made, but it's a knock-on against Manly. So the Roosters, a bit of fortune.
Oh, Phil can't believe it.
Well, Dale Shearer's trying to offload in a situation where he didn't have to. That's a good ball from Hermanson, but he shouldn't be trying to offload here. Rowdy, he just lost it, did he?
He just lost it.
Sydney City need a converted try. Walker put down by Innes. Now Matt Singh. A moment that Kallela had just capped a dream of a game. Wood. Fiddler, a dummy half. Lamb on now for Gaffey. Menzies underneath him, and Gaffey's on the 10-metre line as he prepares to play it, and does. Goulet. Goulet's over. He's over under the post. We are heading for 16 all.
And what about how soft it was? Manly have been absolutely superb in defence, and Scott Goulet, he just takes him on straight through Carroll. Carries Nevin over, and, well, extra time coming our way, maybe.
No, he's had a great game, Scott Goulet. The marker dropped off. You know, look at the video. Kallela, maybe he should have kept chasing there. Nevin was hundreds and missed by Mark Carroll, I think it was. And his career has been rejuvenated the last 6 months. He's played some outstanding football, Scott Goulet.
He will kick this, won't he?
Please don't involve me.
Well, I saw the last 10 minutes of the North Newcastle game yesterday. That's all I got to see, and it was unbelievable.
Well, there's your answer. 16 points all, with 6.5 minutes to go. It is field goal time. Remember Adrian Lamb at 15-14 down against North Sydney.
Well, Brad Fittler can kick them from 45 out. We've seen him do that before. Did it in the State of Origin a few years ago.
Fittler away from his own line and running hard.
Oh.
Ricketson on the end of a corker from Kallela again. Hamilton away for Barnhill. Menzies strong. This is a fantastic game of football.
He was offside there, Menzies.
Wood. Tuvey and Kallela. I don't know about you guys, but if you can tear the man of the match check in half, you wouldn't be out of order with those two Manly players I just mentioned, if in fact it is a Manly award. Now Sidaris.
Well, they did poorly there, the Roosters. They got a bad kick away. They gave good field position immediately to Manly. Third tackle now. Kallela takes it inside 30. They're going to have a real good shot at a field goal if they want to take one.
Nevin is up standing behind the ruck. Tuvey says for Carroll to give it one more. Now he looks around for Nevin. The dummy half runs himself. Tuvey, 7 metres out on 5. Nevin's way back. Here he is. There's the shot. There's the shot.
He's missed it.
And he's missed it. They won't get any easier for Shannon Nevin.
No, he had time, and more than anything, he had space. He's just hooked it. Oh, Rabbi, you're on the first tee.
Into the trees goes Rabbits.
Wood. Nathan coming off. Dad would have his fingernails bitten down to the bone by now. Barry. Lamb. Frustratingly looking for a gap. Garlic. He's lost the ball, and Manly's Craig Field comes to Fiddler, gets around him. Fiddler comes back and pulls him down. 20 metres away from the Sydney City line. They will probably set it up again for Shannon Nevin. Gardner now, right in the centre. Maybe they'll take an early shot. Tuvey wrestled down by Fiddler. Well, Fiddler's got his foot flat on the floor now. Moore. Tierney. surveyor.
Well,
Field.
he's a dummy half. So
Field is waiting. Field is the man. Field gets the kick in. David Nelson. He puts the hand up. Manly's in front.
Yeah, great kick from Craig Field, and with 2.5 minutes to go, you'd think they're on the way to another grand final, their third in a row. He was only 10 metres out, right in front. The chase was good, but they just couldn't get there in time.
And how important was that lost ball from Sean Garlick? I said earlier, it's a cruel game. He'd made a good charge, as this one is from Hopewate.
One thing's for certain, is Hopewate gets a reception from the crowd for slow play. Newcastle will be sitting back thinking these two sides have exhausted themselves, and that will be good in the preparation for Newcastle. Tierney to the halfway.
But I think Manly now just take the ball forward and kick the touch. Either kick the touch or try and get into the in-goal area.
Now the last. Wide for Field. To put it back on the right. Innes looks to be offside. Singer's bringing it out of the in-goal. Passes for Walker.
Got to be careful not to give away a penalty, Manly, so that they get the Roosters to the other end of the field.
Cleary. 1 minute and 8 seconds on the clock. Manly by a point. Fletcher. 30 metres out from his own line. They have to get it down the other end. Gaffey. 50 seconds on the clock. Nathan Wood. Halfway line. 5 tackles gone. Fiddler's bomb. Allowed to bounce again. Nevin. And hit by Dale Shearer. Surely that must be the ball game. Danny Moore. Jim Sedaris. They must just hang on to the ball. They're all looking up at the clock. 10 seconds to go. Cliffy Lyons. Barnhill puts him down. 2 seconds to go. Time. Manly goes to the grand final. They will defend their title against Newcastle here next weekend. Marvellous game of football.